ExtraTERROrestrial Alien Encounter is widely considered to be the scariest Disney ride ever built, and for good reason. Its mature themes and R-rated presentation make it stand out in the lineup of rides like It's a Small World and Splash Mountain. If you've never heard of Alien Encounter, get ready for one of the darkest attractions ever built. Before we get started, I would just like to say that if you enjoy what you see today, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot and would really help out the channel. It all started when Michael Eisner took on the role of CEO in 1984. He felt as if the parks no longer had a cool factor and did not resonate with teens. He wanted to have more extreme experiences in the park to attract a wider audience instead of just families, so Eisner had the bright idea of bringing Alien, yes that Alien, into the Magic Kingdom as a shooting dark ride where guests would fight for their lives against enemies from the Alien film franchise. Obviously, this was not a good idea, even though it would have been awesome, so Imagineers reworked this into a show centered around Alien. Eventually, the Alien IP was scrapped for obvious reasons, but Alien would make its way into Hollywood studios on the now defunct Great Movie Ride. After a while, the Imagineers put the idea of a scary show/attraction on the back burner until a few years later when Imagineers decided to revisit the idea under the wings of George Lucas, who is the creator of Star Wars, and he was brought on to help with the production of the ride as he was for Star Tours.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Anyway, they decided to come up with their own story and alien design not based on Ridley Scott's Alien, but just equally terrifying. I would like to mention that this isn't really a show or ride specifically. It's more of a show, but it's also kind of a ride. So just keep that in mind. I'll be using show and ride kind of interchangeably. But around this time, it was also convenient that the show Mission to Mars was starting to lose ridership and was becoming very outdated. Mission to Mars featured a circular theater with screens on the top and the bottom to simulate a flight to Mars. The technology was outdated, and this ride actually replaced another ride which was basically the same thing, but instead of the Mars, you went to the moon. Something new and modern would need to take the place of Mission to Mars to keep the Magic Kingdom feeling fresh and exciting. Enter the ExtraTERROrestrial Alien Encounter, which would replace Mission to Mars and would center around a company called XS Tech performing a teleportation demonstration in the Tomorrowland Interplanetary Convention Center. To start the experience, guests enter the Tomorrowland Interplanetary Convention Center, where guests are being given a demonstration by XS Tech, led by Chairman L.C. Clinch, played by Jeffrey Jones. He explains the demonstration, and afterwards guests can see a screen that tells of past events held here, like Mission to Mars I mentioned earlier. Guests then enter the second room, where there is an animatronic named SIR, which is short for Simulated Intelligence Robotics. SIR is played by Tim Curry, yes that Tim Curry, and informs you that you are about to witness a demonstration on teleportation. The demonstration is performed on our little alien friend Skippy. SIR teleports Skippy and he returns burnt to a crisp, but don't be alarmed because SIR said it would be painless. It's obvious the teleportation did not go according to plan as Skippy has been burnt alive. Disney had hoped that this dark and disturbing pre-show would deter kids from continuing on to the main ride. If you thought this was disturbing, just you wait. XS Tech still decides to move on with the demonstration and plans to teleport a member of the audience to their planet. Guests then fill up the circular showroom and the harnesses come down over their shoulders. These restraints are mostly for immersion as they produce special effects such as airburst, audio cues, and vibrations. After guests get comfortable, which won't last long, the show begins, and guests take notice of the large teleporter in the center of the room. The chairman from earlier then informs you that instead of one of us getting teleported to him, he is going to teleport himself to us. The teleportation sequence begins, and the chairman gets teleported to an unknown planet while the audience is left to wonder what in the world got teleported to us.
Are in a lot of danger.
A towering alien creature animatronic with wings appears right in front of you in the chamber, and the XS Tech employees take note of its wings and describe it as carnivorous. It doesn't take long for it to escape. The glass breaks and the lights go out, and the alien begins to fly around the room, simulated by audio, and your harness simulates the movement of the creature with the binaural audio as well. The show may be hard to follow over the sounds of screaming guests, so the XS Tech employees remind you to stay quiet so it probably won't eat you. The alien would move around the room for a while, and the 3D binaural audio would continue so you know where the alien is. The harness would also vibrate to simulate its movement on top of you, and the water would be sprayed to simulate its saliva. The show then takes a bit of a turn as it follows one of the employees attempting to turn the power back on through a POV camera. However, this employee meets his demise rather quickly and is torn apart by the alien. Water is sprayed on the guest to simulate the blood of the employee. No, I am not making this up, and yes, this is a real Disney ride. After that, the alien can once again be felt jumping on the audience and breathing down your neck via mist and air effects. 2 ExtraTERRORestrial employees then regain control of the situation and get the alien back in the teleporter. The teleporter then fails and it completely vaporizes the alien, killing it and spraying its guts out all over the audience. The harnesses lift and guests are left to wonder what the heck they just experienced and why was this at a Disney park. While Michael Eisner succeeded in his quest to make a scary and thrilling attraction, that's pretty much the only thing he succeeded in, as guest reception was mostly negative. Many kids came off the ride in tears with angry parents ready to complain, and even signs were put up to deter young children from getting on the attraction. The ride ran from June 20th, 1995 to October 12th, 2003, and the ride was eventually closed. No word was officially given, but there has been some speculation. A popular theory is that it was simply too scary and did not belong in a park with cute and fun rides meant for all ages. This ride would have been dark even at Universal, but at a Disney park is unbelievable. They must have been out of their minds when they came up with this attraction. Another wildly believed theory is that the actor who plays the chairman was convicted of some pretty disgusting crimes, of which I would not go into detail, so please research this stuff yourself. Many people believe Disney wanted to distance themselves from Jeffrey Jones, and rightfully so. Conveniently enough, Lilo and Stitch was released in 2002 and the stars aligned for a replacement attraction. Imagineers quickly started to work on retheming Alien Encounter to Stitch's Great Escape. Stitch's Great Escape uses many of the same ride elements as Alien Encounter did, like animatronics and special effects. Unfortunately, this ride was just as hated, if not more, than Alien Encounter. Alien Encounter was disliked because it was scary, not because it was bad. And Stitch's Great Escape was disliked because it was bad, not because it was scary. This is also pre-movie Stitch, where he is still a bad guy, and he isn't the funny, lovable alien that most people know him as, which added guest disdain for the attraction. Stitch's Great Escape was eventually closed in 2018 to make way for absolutely nothing. This is now extra space for the employees. It is actually quite sad to see the building in this shape, and I wish they'd put something there for good. I mean, this is what the animatronics look like now. This is Buzzy from Alien Encounter, who was reused for Stitch's Great Escape, and this is Stitch himself. The Stitch animatronic was actually very impressive, and I can't believe they let him rot instead of finding a use for him. I understand Stitch was not a great attraction, but it was better than nothing, and I wish it was still there. But even more so, I wish Alien Encounter was still there. Imagine a reimagined Alien Encounter, but it's themed to the Alien franchise. That would never happen, of course, but it is an awesome thought. The failure of this ride led to it not being brought over to other Disney resorts as Michael Eisner had wished. He initially thought that this would be a signature attraction in every Disney park, but of course he was proven wrong by the performance of the ride. This and the failure of Euro Disney, now known as Disneyland Paris, led to the cancellation of the ride being brought to Disneyland, and also the cancellation of Tomorrowland 2055 in Disneyland, which was supposed to be an overhaul of the entire land. This will go down as one of Disney's biggest misfires, and I'm sure for a while Disney wanted us to forget about this ride. That makes it all the more crazy that on Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, sitting on the collector's desk is an invoice from none other than XS Tech, signed by the chairman himself. This is one of the coolest Easter eggs in all of Disney, and I'm shocked they'd even reference Alien Encounter. This is not to say the ride didn't have its fans. Many people praised the advanced 4D technology and loved how absolutely terrifying it was. However, these people were but a minority, and Disney has yet to build an attraction with the horror that Alien Encounter held. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This was a bit of a different video than what I've been posting, so I would like some feedback on this style of content going into the history of past attractions and stuff like that. The only issue I have with making this sort of content is that there are so many of these types of videos out there that I'd have to stand out or come up with topics that no one else has done before. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.